Hello, everybody. I'm James Chubb from eDirectory. Welcome to today's webinar. Thanks for joining. A couple logistics while we get started here, and Gabriel can pull up our presentation. The first thing, if anybody has any questions or comments during the webinar, you could just pop them into the live chat, and we will stop periodically and answer the questions. The other thing is we will have this webinar posted on eDirectory.com on the blog. A recording of the webinar will be posted typically tomorrow morning, within 24 hours for sure. So if you want to go back and review later, you can check our blog out. So great. So a little bit about me. I'm James. I'm the founder of the company. And with us today, we have Emerson and Gabriel, who lead our marketing team. So thanks, guys, for joining. And also, we have a couple next events coming up. Revenue Strategies on May 3rd, which is a great webinar. And on May 17th, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence for content marketing and SEO and some of the stuff we're working on. So that should be an interesting webinar coming up on May 17th. So please come back and join us. And before we get started on the SEO, just a quick background for anybody new here on eDirectory and the platform that we offer. eDirectory is a content management system for building directory-style websites, listing-type websites. It's used for all sorts of things, all sorts of different industries. Some of them are yellow page-style sites, local search, tourist guides, those type of things. Also, we do a lot of B2B directories for media companies, niche industry directories, vendor directories, that type of thing as well. It's highly customizable. It's a widget-based system where you can drag and drop things with low code. There's also, we have a code option available as well. If you do want to change the source code, you can fully customize it and make it identical to your main site or a different site as well. And we have integrated mobile apps, native mobile apps that you can install, that you can put in your own App Store account under your brand and everything, in Apple App Store, as well as Google Store. So great. And if you want a demo of the product or have some specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. We can have an account manager give you a private demo and answer questions about what you're doing as well. Okay, great. So SEO, search engine optimization. This is a big topic that is very important for running a directory style site. First, just what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization, which is basically techniques to improve your website to get it better indexed and better ranked with the search engines, is what SEO is. Basically making your site work very, very well with the search engine so that they put you up top of the results, and it drives a lot more traffic. We've often seen directory style sites get 60, 70, 80% of their traffic comes off of Google. It's nearly all Google. They pretty much have a monopoly, maybe 10% off Bing, stuff like that. But it is very important that you think about SEO. We've thought a lot about SEO as we built the product. And so we've done a lot of work inside of it. Emerson will show you some of that in the third part of this presentation in terms of how we've set it up so that you can easily optimize it. But in addition to that, there's some work that needs to be done in terms of thinking about content and what keywords to target and that sort of thing. So we're going to talk about that today. This should be a good overview of SEO. And also at the end of this, we'll point you to some deeper resources where you can do more research on doing SEO. So what is Google looking for in general? And so Google they've got like the algorithm behind Google, the page rank algorithm. It's gotten very, very good. It's a very good algorithm in terms of surfacing very good content to the top. So what is Google looking for? At the end of the day, they're really looking for really relevant content. You have a search term and they try to identify what content is the best to show the user. And so relevant content is very important for Google. In addition to that, user experience of your site. How fast does it load? How clean is it? How well is the content that you put in there highlighted? Is the important stuff in the top H1 tags, those type of things. Also the social signs, which is, who else is pointing to your content? Where else is it linked on other types of websites and that type of thing as well. So Google's looking for a lot of stuff. And what's next here? And so I think at this point, I'll turn it over to Gabriel, who's our marketing team. These guys are SEO experts, so they'll get into the details here of SEO, and feel free to ask any questions towards the end of this. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks, James. Thanks for the introduction. So yes, as James mentioned, if you have any questions, just pop into the chat tool here on Zoom, and we can stop here periodically to talk about and answer your questions. So yes, good day, everyone. I'm Gabriel. I work for the marketing team here at eDirectory. And as we are discussing SEO, search engine optimization, so I would like to start talking about what are the types of SEO that there is. So firstly, there are two types of SEO. There's on-page and there's off-page. So on-page SEO focuses on optimizing the content of your website, while off-page SEO involves other technical actions to improve your website's ranking. So things that are not related to the content itself, but things that are around your website that should be improved in order for you to get a better ranking in SERPs or Google or search engines. So, okay, let's talk about the off-page SEO first. So off-page SEO refers to all the actions taken outside of your website to improve its search engine ranking. These actions focus on improving the user experience and increasing the visibility of your website on other platforms. I'm talking about like mobile phones or tablets, not just PCs, so your site. That counts, that takes a big part on ranking nowadays. So that's considered for Google, for example. So we're going to take a look at some of these SEO off-page techniques that we use in eDirectory, actually. So we're talking about the website coding, structured data, the lazy load integration, WebP image format, and etc. So the website coding plays a crucial role in improving a website search engine optimization, because a well-coded website can help search engines understand the content of the website more accurately and improve its visibility in search results. So that means that if your website is well coded, there isn't a bunch of stuffy code left behind from other projects. When it's a link code, it will actually loads faster, and Google takes that as a big part of ranking. So that's important to have a clean code for your website. And this is something that eDirectory takes a big part on, because it's already ready. It's SEO ready out of the box, so you don't have to worry about lots of some sites have JavaScript and other things that are built in the code that may slow down page load. So eDirectory is already, how can I say, eDirectory is already suited for a clean code website. So the structured data is another big point for SEO, which involves the using of schema.org. Schema.org is a way to organize and mark up the content of your website. So structured data helps search engines understand the content of your website more accurately, providing more information to potential visitors. So this can lead to the display of rich snippets in search results, which can increase the click-through rate to your website. Rich snippets, I mean, you can include different information such as images, like ratings and reviews. You know, when you're looking for a hotel room or a restaurant on Google, and it shows like stars for reviews, that is something that structured data has, and that improves SEO as well. So Google will take that in consideration to rank one site above the other. So and eDirectory also, the fields of eDirectory are also linked to the schema.org to ensure that your website will run smoothly. The lazy loading.
Gabriel, just for like some specific examples, some of the schema.org goes into business listing data, and it has things like, what is it, the hours of the business and those type of things are tagged in there. And so we've spent a lot of time working to get the eDirectory format and all that, all the coding set with those tags to make sure that Google understands the structured data that we have in there.
That is right. That is right. Talking about the lazy load feature is another technique for SEO, which allows for faster loading times of website images and other media, let's say videos or GIFs. With lazy loading, images and media, they are only loaded when they are needed. So rather than rendering the website all at once, let's say you have a fairly long website, the lazy loading will only load the images or videos or any type of media that the user can see at their screen at the moment. So that makes the website runs faster, load much faster as well, because you don't have to worry about having to load the entire website and then show it to the visitor, which will improve the amount of waiting time from the moment that the user clicks on the link and the page is fully loaded. Will increase them dramatically. So it's a very important feature. Also, we have the WebP image format. The WebP image format is a modern image format developed by Google that offers a superior compression and faster load times than other image formats, let's say like PNG or JPEG. So using the WebP images on your website can improve your website ranking as well, because also it will run faster, it will load faster, and also eDirectory comes with that option out of the box as well.
And just Gabriel, on that option with the WebP, I think what happens is when you upload an image, it saves it in the WebP format and different stuff that are optimized for mobile and etc. So you don't necessarily need to upload the WebP format, just to mention that.
That is right. That is right. You can continue to upload your JPEG images or PNG, no problem. Just that eDirectory will convert those images to WebP format, and that will show to the user much faster than a JPEG would, for example, and much more optimized as well. So jumping on the on-page SEO, which refers to the optimization of the individual web pages to improve the visibility and ranking on, let's say, the Google search engine page. So the on-page SEO techniques involve optimizing several elements inside a web page, like not only the content, but the HTML source code, the images, and other factors as well. So we're talking about the use of keywords, the use of friendly URLs, meta descriptions, title tags, general text, that means the content of your page, and images. I will talk about them specifically. So the keywords I will talk in a moment, but I want to talk about the friendly URLs. A friendly URL is a descriptive and easy to read URL. It includes relevant keywords that are linked to your content. Let's say you have a listing with a URL that has a bunch of text or numbers that doesn't mean anything. If you can use the URL using the keyword of that service or that, I don't know, that business into the URL, so Google will read that and we will match the title of the page, the content, and the keywords being used both in the URL and both in the content. And Google will understand that that page is more relevant for the search query that the user is looking for. Okay. And the meta description, okay, I'll talk about that in a moment. So what is a keyword? So keywords are words or phrases that people search for, and incorporating them into your website content can improve the relevance to the search engines. So when a person is searching for something on the web, that is a search term or a keyword, okay? So including relevant keywords in your content can help search engines to understand what is your page about and increase the chances of appearing in the search results. So we're not talking about like spam keywords in your content. We're talking about try to use the terms that people are looking for relative to your niche, for example, and applying that not only to your listing content, but also in the keyword fields and the HTML and the title tags. So making all of that work in conjunction. So Google will understand that that page is relevant to the user that are searching for some queries in a specific topic, okay? And then there are types of keywords. The types of keywords that are most known now are the short tail keywords, are the long tail keywords, and also the geo-target keywords. So the short tail keywords are a broad search term that typically consists in one or two words. That's it. For example, that includes shoes or cars or pizza, just a generic word that people are looking for on a search engine. So a short tail keyword have high search volumes, but can be very competitive and making it difficult to rank for them because everybody is trying to rank for pizza, everybody's trying to rank for lawyer services. So very general keyword is and also very competitive. So very much more difficult to rank, let's say in the first positions on Google for those types of keywords. What we are trying to work with more are the long tail keywords. There are more specific phrases that consists of 3 or more words, for example, in conjunction. Let's say men's leather shoes, for example, or best Italian restaurants in Chicago. So you're giving a much more specific thing for Google to search and come up with results for you than just Italian restaurants. No, you're looking for the best Italian restaurants in Chicago, for example. So long tail keywords have a lower search volume, but they're way more targeted. So making it easier to rank for them and attract highly relevant traffic to your website. That's why niche businesses work so good. More content around your niche and creating more long tail keywords, let's say in form of descriptions, listings, classifieds, blog posts. Google will understand your niche and will recommend your website to more people that are searching for those keywords. I don't know if Emerson want to add anything about that, or James add anything about that.
I'll let Emerson add here, but we had a question come in, which I'll answer at least the first couple pieces of. Taking events, articles, and listing, does eDirectory automatically push the title for SEO? Yes, I mean, it's typically the restaurant, or sorry, not the restaurant, the listing title goes in there, right, Emerson? So the answer would be yes on that?
Yes. After Gabriel's part, I'm going to show the back end of the directory, and I'm going to explain all the fields, how everything works. Basically, Sylvia's questions summarizes all I'm going to show later. But so
okay,
stay
great.
tuned.
Yeah, and then the second one, which is relevant to this keyword thing, is on the SEO keywords, what should we be placing there? And so what you want to do is do your keyword research and then put in, the keywords that are sort of relevant to the listing there for that. And these are long tail keywords that Gabriel just spoke about. And I'll start again with the rest of the questions after. Keep Emerson, do you have anything else to add here? Otherwise, we'll let Gabriel go, and then we'll come back and pick up the rest of these questions.
No, I'm good.
Okay, great.
All right. So the last type of keywords that are important for, let's say, local search sites and classifieds websites like online directories are the geo-targeted keywords. There are location-based keywords that includes the name of a city or a region. Let's say, for example, the example above, like best Italian restaurants in Chicago, or best pizza in New York City, or dentists in San Francisco. So by incorporating the geolocation in a keyword into your website content, you can attract local traffic, and that will also improve your visibility in local search results. So as I mentioned, like online directories are niche businesses that usually work better when you know the region that you are working for, let's say not nationwide, but on your neighborhood, on your city. So geo-targeted keywords work very well in these types of businesses, okay? Local search sites, for example. Moving on next, we have the meta description. So the meta description, as you can see here in the images, are these texts or descriptions that you see right below the blue links on Google on a search engine page. The meta descriptions are elements that appear just below that as a summary of the content of your web page. Okay, so you can have that written by yourself. For that, there are some rules that you need to follow. For example, keeping it shorter than 160 characters, and using the keyword of your listing, of your blog post or whatever, into the meta description. But also there's an automatically way that Google does that it will browse to your content page, and Google will come up with a meta description that most fits what the user is looking for. Let's say a user is typing a query for Google, and the meta description that you wrote is not satisfactory. It's not satisfactory for what the people is searching for. So Google can come up with combining texts from your content page and showing that as a meta description. So it's a clever way that Google works with this. Another big part of the SEO are the title tags. You must have seen this before, like the H1, H2, H3. So these are the what we call the titles that you should organize the content of your website under. So you have the H1, that's the top of the chain. So that means that that information is like the title of the page. And then you have the H2 and H3. So let's say you have a listing or description or a blog article. You should use these tags to organize the information in a hierarchy. How do I say that word, James? Like in a hierarchy.
In a hierarchy. Yeah.
Hierarchy. Yes, you should organize that.
Yeah, just to let people know that what the tags do is when you look at a web page, you'll see some of the content is often the text is larger or bold or a section header or that type of thing. And so those are the different tags in the code in the HTML. So like H1 is typically bolder and bigger, as you see here on the little right bar. And so Google knows that, oh, the stuff that is bigger and bolder is probably the bigger topic of the page as it goes down.
Yes, exactly. So these are used to organize the text inside a page. So Google knows how to establish that these are the titles and these are the subheading and these are the topics. So you can mix all these informations to make it easier for Google to read your page. And we have the general text and images inside the page. Remember to optimize your text and images as well. That means including the keywords that you are using in a mindful way. Don't spam keywords. Google will penalize your website for that. Focus on the content, offer what people are looking for. Rich content with, let's say, business hours, features, what services that business provides. Use the alt name in all of your images. You know, when the alt name is when you hover your mouse over an image, and that shows a text saying kind of describing what that image is, because Google cannot read images. So it uses the alt name field to understand what that image is, and that image can rank on Google because of that. So that's a very important aspect that you should implement on every page that you are using images. Also make rich descriptions, short descriptions. As I've mentioned, try to list all the information that you have on a listing or on an article that will fulfill the user's requests. Okay, have that in mind. I think that's pretty much it from my end. I will turn over to Emerson so he can show the eDirectory SEO Center from the dashboard.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. You can stop sharing. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Just as a quick recap, I'm going to talk about this on-page and off-page SEO. As a quick recap, this off-page SEO are all the technical parts that we as a company, as a software provider, we are doing, which is server optimization, code improvements, etc. So you don't need to worry about this off-page SEO. This is on us. So what you as directory owners should do, focus on the on-page SEO. And the on-page SEO, we have two main parts. One is the metadata, which is meta description, meta keywords, page title, slug, friendly URL, etc., as Gabriel mentioned. And the other part is what is visible to the end user, which is the content on the pages, the text you use, the keywords you're going to use to write text, blog posts, fill in your pages, etc. So I'm going to show how you are going to fill in your pages with this type of content, and then answering questions like Sylvia's and also a question from Vanessa as well. So let me share my screen and we can start talking a bit more. Okay, so eDirectory has an SEO center for all elements we have on the software, for listings, for events, blog, classifieds, deals, locations, categories, subcategories, everything that you can create inside the directory. Every page, every item, there is an SEO section for that. For online directories, what you should be focusing first on the home page, which is probably the most important page on your website, where you can work different ways. You can have a longer home page, a short and to the point style home page. Depends on your project, on your idea, on your objectives. Also focus on categories and on locations. And why I'm telling you that, because as Gabriel mentioned, we have two different main types of keywords: long tail and long tail keywords, and the head keywords. Head keywords are very competitive, so it's very hard to rank for these type of keywords like shoes or even blue shoes. But for long tail keywords, blue shoes in San Francisco, for example. So you have a long tail keyword that will have less competition, so you have more space to compete. So if you have good content, relevant content for this keyword in your pages, even on the backstage and on the front page, you will have more chances to tell Google that you have relevant content, and this content will satisfy the user's query. Okay, homepage. So let me just show my here my test website, so I can tell you exactly what to do. Homepage, keywords, title tags, everything. I'm going to show you quickly how we're going to identify and use these settings on your website. This is the homepage of our test website, and here we have this widget, which is the search widget with this text here and this one here. Technically, this is the main title tag, the H1 tag, H1 title. And this is 182 title. So it tells Google what my site is about. When Googlebot is going to read my website, it's going to read and understand that this should be the main sentence. James, are you?
Yeah, I just had a comment on that. So the H1 and the H2 there, we have like, because this is our demo, we have some very, very generic stuff there. Discover great places and service. These are like, nobody's searching for places and services. So this probably isn't what you want to do there. You want to put in something very, relevant to your business, what people are looking for there. Awesome places, bars, restaurants, etc. Typically you'd want to make sure you have some location data in there, often neighborhoods. In addition to, if it's in Miami, there's a couple neighborhoods there that you may want to put in there. Those kind of things, really relevant things in there that are unique. This is just sort of our demo, but we'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm talking about these specific widgets because of that. You can change the pages, the layout, the widgets, the way you want. So you can remove this search bar with sliders. It's beautiful, but course, at some point, it's not, if it does not make sense for your project, you can use just a simple search bar. But if you're using a simple search bar, you are going to need text with a title tag, an H1. So you need to make this adjustment. So you need to know that. So your SEO is still strong on your homepage. So let me just here pull up my my admin page. Just a second. Okay, here it is. So let me go there. Design, page editor, and I have the home page. Here we have SEO and advanced options. Meta description, meta keywords, as Gabriel mentioned. Meta keywords, it used to be a sign for ranking on Google. It's not a factor anymore since like 10 years ago, but this is still important because keywords are the sparkle that makes all the engines work. So we need to focus on the keywords, but the main important for ranking a page, for SEO on any page, is the meta description. So as James mentioned, you have your title tag, your main description, business on X neighborhood, for example. You need to repeat the same keyword that you are using on your title, on page title, also on your meta description. You need to make it consistent. It's basic. The same keyword on the URL, on page title, on the meta description and meta keywords. You need to put the same keywords into these different places to make it consistent. So Google will understand the context and relate that to a single keyword and expression, search term, etc. So that's the basic, how Google will understand the content on your pages. And here is where you are going to include this type of content on your pages. So this is for specifically for the home page. The other items, the other modules of the system will work on different ways. So for the home page, that's where you can find the SEO section. For the search box that I mentioned, it's not very clear, but here, discover great places and service. So the search label 1 is the H1 title tag you have here. So, and this is an H2 title tag. So it's under the hierarchy. So if you're going to optimize for SEO your homepage using this standard search bar with sliders, you're going to work on the search label 1 and search label 2. These are the main importance on your homepage when using the search box with sliders. And if you're going to make something different, or if you're going to add an additional text on your homepage, you can always use the custom content widgets. Let me show you here. For example, you want to add more text or more images, etc. You can add it to the content here. And when editing anything here, let me just put here example. So here you have heading 1, H1, that's the title tag. Another very important tip, every page must have just one title tag, just one H1 tag. So if we're going to add more contents, try not to use the heading 1 if you're not sure if there is already another title 1 on your page. I'm going to show you very quickly how to find that. But if you're going to add it here, heading 2, heading 3, paragraph, format normal, it's very simple to use these. So if you are not sure if you have or where is the H1 tag of your pages, it's very simple. Just right button on your mouse, view page source is just a very quick thing here. It's going to show you the code of the page. Then you can hit Control F. You have the search box, and then just type H1, for example. You see the title tag. This is what Google is looking on your website. It's exactly what Google is looking, the bot's reading on your website. So if you are not sure if there is or there is not an H1 title tag on your pages, just double click, right click on your mouse, and Control F to search the page. So we have here H2. So there are a lot of H2. There are no limits for H2, H3 tags, bullet points, etc. So just the H1 title tag that you must have only one. And all of these H1, H2, etc. It's already on eDirectory. When the pre-made pages, all of them, they already have this H1 title tag ready to go. You don't need to worry about. You just have to pay attention on this if you are modifying your pages. If you are using the standard pages, nothing to worry about. Okay, so moving forward, this is for the home page and the regular pages. For categories, so I was talking about, this is for homepage. Now let's focus on categories. So when creating categories, and it is for listings, classifieds, events, etc., you have the SEO section on the inside advanced options. Way below of the page, you have the page title, the friendly URL or slug URL, it's the same thing, meta keywords and meta description. And also, if you want to add more content to make a fine tune on your SEO, you can always add text here. And again, put an H2 tag here to show Google what's more important on the content of this page. Okay. So here is what we're going to use. Let me just pull up the question from, I guess it's from Sylvia. Okay. Did you answer that? No.
I think one of them got removed there, that last question.
Yeah,
we can go back over these. We'll make
okay.
sure we answer all these at the end, but
Okay.
yeah, let's
But,
keep moving and we'll answer all these real quick at the end.
Okay, perfect.
So
So
we're not too far off, everybody, from finishing up here either. So
okay, perfect. So
yeah.
so creating categories and subcategories, you are going to use this. So again, if you have a category called American traditional for a restaurant type of cuisine, for example, you need to have this URL matching the same page title, keywords, and a meta description. And creating more content around this keyword, this topic, to make it more relevant for the eyes of Google. So it works the same way across all modules. Creating categories in listings, classifieds, events, etc. It's the same way. Just scroll down inside the advanced options, and you see the SEO center. It's very simple to use. And the same applies for location. Location is another thing that you must optimize to make it more relevant to Google. So we have here landing.
In the location, to edit that, it isn't in with the listing and the other content section. It's actually down by the settings in their location. And that's just because typically people upload locations once and then they're sort of done with it. So.
Yeah, that's for location is something that you do once and that's it. You don't need to change that again. So again, we have here the SEO center, SEO section for locations, SEO title, meta keywords, and meta description. Again, meta keywords are important just to guide Google what's going on, what's all about. But the meta description is important for ranking factor, as a ranking factor. So pay extra attention on writing meta description. You can even use GPT to improve your meta description, but don't rely exclusively on their suggestions to create your meta descriptions. But this is the most important metadata, the data that only Google will see on your pages. Okay, keywords. Also, the other topic I have here is about keyword research. What we're going to, how to do this keyword research. We have a webinar dedicated about this topic, so I'm not going to go any deeper on this matter. But it's the process of identifying the most relevant terms for different pages of your website, of your categories, seeking for more chances of better organic ranking. There are a lot of ways to do keyword research based on your competitors, using softwares like Moz, H8Refs, SEMrush, Ubersuggest. There are a lot options available to do this keyword research. But basically, we are going to create a spreadsheet, find variants, analyze search volume, and choose what makes more sense for you, what's easier or faster to compete and have more exposure on search results. And another thing, talking about SEO, is the Google Search Console. We have this integration ready with eDirectory, not just for Google Search Console, but also for Bing Webmaster Tools. These are the official connections between you and the search engines. That's where you're going to tell them that you have a website, what it's all about. You are going to submit your sitemap, so their bots will know where to start. Is just a hint for them to crawl your pages and start this indexing process. All starts here. It starts with the ownership verification. So it's an official communication between you and the search engines. As I mentioned here, sitemap is very important, but it's not mandatory. It just speeds up the process for Google to discover your pages and put them on the queue for crawling later. And all this crawling, indexing, and ranking, it's up to Google do, and there's nothing we as software providers or marketeers to do to interfere. James.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, eDirectory automatically generates a sitemap whenever a listing is added or content is added to the site, and then Google gets that sitemap. So that's all taken care of behind the scenes.
Yeah, and specifically for that, one tip about Google Search Console. I answer a lot of questions from our customers regarding these errors or messages that Search Console sends to website owners. For example, I mentioned for you to focus on categories and locations. And why that? Because listings may expire, events will expire at some point. So this page will no longer exist on your website. That's natural for online directories. So once this page gets indexed, Google will believe that this page will exist forever. But that's not how it works for online directories. So at some point, when the bot crawls your website again, they will see that this page is missing. At least is missing from their index. So their Google Search Console will send an email, say, hey, you have a 404 error on your website. So you should fix this to get increased exposure, etc. So this is not an error. It's just the way Google treats websites and how they do the scrolling. So do not worry about a lot of these error messages, because they are not errors. James?
Oh, anything else? Or should we take questions?
Okay. No, it's just my final tip to pay attention on this, because many of these messages that Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools will send to website owners are just
Sure.
Improvements suggestions are not really errors. Sometimes it
Sure.
makes us.
Yeah, I think we got that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so to wrap up my part today, SEO optimization will help your project seek the best opportunities for organic positioning, but the results are rarely immediate. So it takes time. So it's not something we're going to do now and tomorrow you're going to dominate the search results. It takes time, but it will work on the long run. And now we are open for questions.
For questions, yeah. And I just wanted to add one last thing while we're opening it up to questions here, which is at the end of the day, really quality content, you know, the quality of the listings and the descriptions and the photos and all of that. Google understands the quality. And so whatever you can do to spend your time, like you can spend time like optimizing all little keywords and doing all that stuff. But really, the important thing is having really great quality listing content. So focus on that first. And once your listings are really fantastic and you really provide a great user experience, then you can try to go in there and tweak little keywords and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll open it up. Thanks, and it's a long webinar. We'll open it up to questions here, and we already got a couple, so I'll just run right down them here. When we upgrade to the newest version, do we lose any of the current rankings? No, we try to, all the URLs are typically all the same. A lot of the widgets, everything's the same. And so, no, you shouldn't lose any ranking. Often there's just more better SEO typically comes with the upgrades. We're always trying to stay on top of it. So no, you shouldn't lose any SEO when an upgrade happens. You can lose SEO if URLs change and things like that, but that typically doesn't happen with an upgrade. Next question. On sponsor accounts on a directory website, should I go over all the accounts to see what keywords have been used and add them, or adjust the sponsor hadn't used enough keywords, or add some long tail keywords? Yeah, so I'd recommend whenever somebody adds a listing to go and take a look in there and see what they're doing, and then you can edit their listing and improve the SEO, the content for that listing. Whatever you could do to make your site look great and also behind the scenes work great, I'd say do that.
James, this SEO optimization can also be a service included on the top level packages, etc., or an additional.
Yeah, it's something that you're sort of providing. You can provide it for people as well. Like when your premium showcase level listing, you can say, we'll do a custom SEO optimization for you after you add your listing. For that is what he mentioned. Okay. I signed up a couple months ago and I need some help updating, uploading data, importing data. Can I have someone do a private Zoom to help you with this? Yeah, we have a support team that'll help you with that. We'll note the name here, and we'll be in touch. And also you can reach out to our support team, support at eDirectory, and we have people that can jump on there and help you do the import. Does Google read SEO title and SEO keywords and description on the eDirectory listing page, the lower portion of the page? Yeah, so it's on the lower portion of the form, but after the listing on how the listing is rendered on the front, it's actually rendered in the right places. So yes, absolutely, Google reads that. Next question. Can you tell us if tags are necessary for SEO? An example is WordPress tags. So when you say tags, there's a lot of things. Like I think in WordPress, like tags are sort of like categories. They're a thing you click on to show various posts. eDirectory has categories for that. And so behind the scenes, there's also tags, which are the HTML tag. There's a lot of uses for this word tags. So eDirectory is all set up for this. When you add a listing, it's somewhat similar to like WordPress tags. Also, all the data under the scenes in the code is tagged as well. So, so I think they are necessary. I think you're taken care of though with this. Gabriel posted in a couple links in the chat to some other webinars. Also within our blog, we have some articles there as well that should be in there as well. And we're going to redo some more advanced webinars later on some of these other topics as well. Does scrolling slow down the loading of a web page? So when you scroll down the web page, it's a very long page, and so you're going to the bottom. And when it's a long page, there's more content, and so potentially more content means it's going to load slower. for Google, etc. I don't think it's anything to worry about as far as that goes. That isn't what, the speed of the page load, as often as our images optimized, are things heavy, etc. Having a giant page often means there's more content there, so that Google can index. So I don't know if I'm answering that correctly.
James, that's why we implemented the lazy loads method, because it will just
it loads what's on the screen.
Loads what's on the screen, so you can have a longer page because it won't
with more content in it. Great. Okay. Next question. If you have an HTML editor, should you avoid H1 tags in the listing body? Yes, you should just typically have one H1 tag. Some of the widgets have H1 tags already in there. And so after you create the page, you could go on the page and view source, look for the H1 tag, and you should probably just have one on a page so that Google knows what's inside that header one, that H1 is sort of the subject or whatever of the page.
Yeah, on the listing detail page, the listing title is the H1 tag. So we are covered there on that consistency that I mentioned.
Yeah, and so when you're using the HTML editor, if you want to use that H1 in there, it's probably for like content pages or other things that you're creating with it. How would you do a H1 tag in a category to cover different cities and regions? We've seen people do interesting things just to like really tweak their SEO optimization when they're watching the stats, and they do things like combining categories and city names and doing some other things there. So you can do some of that, test around, test what's going to work depending on your market. It really depends on the market. The system out of the box, I think it just puts in the category. When you're on a category page, the category name is the H1 tag for that. And then the city, if you're on a city page, the city name is on that. And then if you're searching for a combination of those, I think that search result puts the combination of those two in the H1. So I think you're covered on that. The other thing you can do is create another page that has links into the search for like combination city category type things, like create a custom content page that says, editor's guide to Miami, and then it has Miami restaurants, and then that links right into a search result page that shows listings for Miami. So there's a lot of different things you can do there. Sylvia just said, yeah, sure, her other question was answered. That's great, thanks. Question from Kevin. You mentioned earlier something about slug titles having number codes. Many of my listings have that, something Google added. I was always told to leave it alone, otherwise the page would be shown or as not shown. Can I change those slugs that have been there a long time? So yeah, what happened? The reason that some of the slugs have a number on them is because there was probably already another listing with the same title at some point. And sometimes that works because there's some old listing and another listing was added, and then the old listing was deleted. And so that slug by the directory system is automatically created with like number 2, or actually it puts in a random number at the end of it, right? I think that's what he's speaking about there.
Yeah, it's also maybe by using the importing tool, or
the import tool can do that a lot.
There are several reasons.
Yeah, so like the import tool, when you're importing, if there's any collision where there's already one in the database, it'll create the next slug and add a number to it. And so that's why you're getting those in there. I would say you could go in there and edit those or change those or put other things into there. The thing you have to realize is when you change the slug, it's changing the page URL. And so then the sitemap needs to be rebuilt. You might need to put in a 301. We have a 301 tool in the new version, a redirect tool in the new version, where you can redirect the old URLs to the new URLs. It really depends. You may have so many of them, it's just like, leave it. It's not worried about it, but you may have some pages that you really do want to optimize and do that.
Yeah, it's a fine tune that's now possible using the new 301 editor.
Yeah, so the new version we just launched in March has a 301 redirect where you can go in and put 301s right in the site manager there. Next question, I'm about to switch from maintenance to live. Do I need to do anything to notify Google that my site's live or crawlable? Is there anything else I should do once live? So the site, all that sitemap submission where you log into Google Webmaster Tools and put the link in, that needs to be done, right, Emerson, when somebody's going live? Like what should they do when they go live?
In theory, nothing. Just spread the word and work on.
Because the sitemap is already in Google Webmaster Tools, and they put the key in there and do all that.
Yeah,
before
that's
the.
correct.
Okay. So you should be all set to go if everything's configured and you're all set up. Just make sure your Google settings are all set there for that. And it typically does take a while for things to get indexed and show up and start gaining rank and all of that stuff after stuff gets live. Okay, great. I think that's it for the questions. So, oh, and last comment, you guys have gotten good at these SEO seminars. This is the best SEO one yet. Yeah, we're hoping to improve, and I think we're going to try to do an advanced one in the future. I realized today that we should probably do one of these about some of these techniques that people use for like optimizing specific combinations of category location and other types of things. So yeah, stay tuned, and thanks everybody for joining us today. I know this is a bit of a long one, but hope it was useful for some of you. And if you need anything from us, our support team is available, support eDirectory, and we will have another webinar in a couple weeks. Thanks for joining. Anything else, guys?
Nope,
No,
that's it.
no, that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.